And with that winter weather coming in, electrical companies are preparing for possible power outages. 5 News reporter Parker Abels met with them to see how they're preparing. Parker.
Rachel, when these storms hit, electric cooperatives have to be ready for anything, especially mass power outages. Like Ozarks Electric Cooperative in Fayetteville, which has a 24/7 dispatch center that prepares for events like what we may see this week. They also do many exercises with their line workers, preparing them for all weather scenarios, including thunderstorms and winter weather, to make sure they are ready to fix all power outages as quickly as possible and keep the power on for all citizens. Ashley Harris with Ozarks Electric Cooperative tells me that when the weather looks as bad as it could this week, they have extra workers ready to go.
You know, if we are looking towards a weather event like we are doing this week, we definitely have extra crews on call in case we need to send extra crews out to take care of any power outages that might occur. We have real-time updates with our system, so we know when a power outage is happening so that we can dispatch crews directly to that location.
Coming up tonight at 10, I'll have more on how to deal with these potential power outages as well as RDOT road preparations. In Fayetteville, covering news where you live, Parker Abels, 5 News.
All right, Parker, thanks. Right now, authorities are still continuing to look for 2 inmates that allegedly walked away from Jim E. Hamilton Correctional Center in Oklahoma. They're right there on your screen right now. And according to the Oklahoma Department of Corrections, 33-year-old Justin Turner and 42-year-old David James walked away from the LaFleur County Center around 11:15 Friday morning. Turner is 6 foot tall and 220 pounds. James is 5'10" and 160 pounds. Anyone that sees the inmates or knows their location is encouraged to not approach them and to call 911. As President Trump begins a new week in his efforts to remake the federal government, today he made history becoming the first sitting commander-in-chief to attend the Super Bowl. Willie James Inman reports.
Tonight, President Donald Trump is set to become the first sitting president to attend the Super Bowl. Trump says he'll announce on Monday that the United States will impose 25% tariffs on all steel and aluminum imports, including from Canada and Mexico.
Any steel coming into the United States is going to have a 25% tariff.
Trump's stop in New Orleans begins a new week as his administration undertakes a dramatic overhaul of the federal government. With the help of billionaire Elon Musk, Trump is putting multiple departments and agencies under the cost-cutting microscope. The president spoke about the initiatives, several of which are being challenged in court.
We're talking about fraud, waste, abuse, and when a president can't look for fraud and waste and abuse, we don't have a country anymore.
So far, more than 65,000 federal workers have taken the Trump administration's proposed buyout, according to the U.S. Office of Personnel Management. The administration's intense focus on USAID is sparking debate between Republicans and Democrats.
I certainly think the government is far too big, far too bloated, and we're on a path now to start to see it shrink. This is a first step only, but we're moving in the right direction.
We are seeing an executive branch that has decided that they are no longer going to abide by the Constitution in honoring Congress's role in the creation of the agencies, in their role in deciding where money is allocated.
In addition, the Trump administration reportedly has ordered the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau to halt almost all of its work. That, in effect, shutters the agency that was created to protect consumers after the 2008 financial crisis and subprime mortgage lending scandal. Willie James Inman, CBS News, West Palm Beach, Florida.
A new CBS News poll finds most Americans say President Donald Trump has started his term with net positive marks from Americans overall. And tonight we're highlighting a Fayetteville Haas Hall Academy student who served as Senate page. If you're not familiar with what that is, it's a paid U.S. government employee for 4 months. Mia Alansarari is a high school junior and was appointed by Senator Bozeman to be one of 28 Senate pages. It is considered one of the most selective and prestigious programs in the country. Pages are nominated by senators, usually from their home state, and perform a variety of tasks, such as delivering messages and legislative documents on the Senate floor. 5 News sat down with Mia, and she tells us about her hands-on experience in D.C.
So whenever the senator would go speak, we'd get them a water and a lectern at their desk to read off of, and they all had different water preferences and different lectern preferences, and then also whenever there was votes, we'd go on the doors and hold the doors for the senators. Also, whenever there was any votes, we would deliver legislative materials to different offices, the parliamentarian's office, and we'd interact with the clerks in different ways to help keep the floor running.
Now, something to keep in mind, senators, U.S. Senate pages, and Senate clerks are the only people in the world allowed on the Senate floor. Not even Senate staff or interns are allowed on the Senate floor. Congratulations, Mia, on that huge accomplishment. A recent wildlife sighting has experts wondering if the 13-lined ground squirrel, a species common in prairie regions, could be in Arkansas. The small striped squirrel was spotted near Branson, Missouri, just north of the Arkansas border. Wildlife biologists say they have no confirmed records of the species in the state, but historical accounts suggest they may have lived here in the early 1900s. The 13-lined ground squirrel is often mistaken for a chipmunk, but there are key differences.
13 lines kind of running across her back compared to the 5 you'd see on a chipmunk. And one of the other differences is that some of the lines on the 13-line ground squirrel are more like disjunct dots, instead of a solid line. So it's a lot more broken pattern that makes them look differently. And plus, the ground squirrel lives in a little bit more open areas while chipmunks tend to live in forests.
For now, if these squirrels are in Arkansas, experts say they're hibernating underground and won't emerge until spring. He says if you believe you've come across a 13-line squirrel, grab a photo to post on iNaturalist. You can email the Game and Fish Commission to discuss your discovery. Now check this out, Math Meets Eagles Mania. A local nonprofit is turning Super Bowl excitement into a hands-on learning experience, helping young girls build confidence in STEM. Eva Anderson has more.
In this classroom, math meets Eagles mania.
And we're going to write a number down to think how much the Eagles will win by.
There's no room for doubt.
Right, because we know we're winning.
Students confidently crunch the Birds' margin of victory.
What do you think a final score would be? We have 60-40.
It's all part of the nonprofit Black Girls Love Math, a program applying math to real life.
Now I want to know how many inches are in 1 yard.
This week's theme, the Super Bowl. Students decode the Roman numerals LIX.
How can we figure out how to make 59 into Roman numerals? So how can we convert it? Rihanna, what you think?
The I in front of the X means that it is 10 minus 1, which makes it 9.
They also learn how touchdowns paired with field goals could stack the scoreboard by multiples of 7.
14.
21.
9-year-old Jaylee Singleton says this program makes weekend school worth it.
It's really fun and encouraging.
That supportive atmosphere is exactly what Executive Director Atia Harmon wants to create.
To give them a safe space where they can feel loved and cared for, and not if they're got right and wrong. How can you solve these on the board?
The nonprofit aims to boost Black women in STEM, but even aspiring lawyers like Rihanna Manhertz see the value.
Math is really vital for, any career, actually, because you can file taxes. You need math.
Like the Birds, these girls embody team spirit.
It's like we're one big community.
A community united by numbers.
I am a beautiful Black girl and I love math.
And a love for the Birds. Eagles! Eva Anderson, CBS News, Philadelphia.